Hello. Hello. Wait, dudes, what's with the delay? What's with the delay specifically? There's so much delay at the moment. Actually, okay, dude. How do we begin today? Dude, like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, in some cases, I feel like it's we got like a rather complicated situation like at the moment. I feel like it's not easily solved, like at all, I think. But yeah, like the thing is, when it comes to like a lot of these new topics that kind of come out, it's like, as long as they don't sound so incredibly stupid, basically, it's like everything's good. But like, it's just that most of the time, like all these kind of like new problems that kind of come around, I mean, it's kind of like you get like one side of it actually. Like most of the time, you can, like as individuals, we kind of understand where things are coming from, essentially. So, yeah. But it's like, I mean, part of me is just like, dude, I just like, this is why I kind of like prefer like just focusing on otaku like culture in particular, because it's like, okay, at least like we kind of like have some kind of sort of agreement with it, like at all times. There's like today I got like a weird headache actually. Like I don't even know specifically. Like I legitimately have no idea where to begin when it comes to like a lot of like media in particular. It's just, I mean, yesterday I kind of ranted a lot about all the things that seemed really stupid. Basically, it's like you would assume that is like common sense in some ways, basically, but like, yeah. It's like a lot of situations that I say that come out of like media in particular, it's just weird. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, you kind of like see the other perspective, and it's like, yeah, you kind of understand what they're saying, but at the same time, it's just like, the intent, it's kind of weird. I mean, not the intent, like the context that like some words were built in, it's kind of weird specifically, because it's like, kind of agree with like 90% of everything that people say within their own phrases, and it's like that tiny 10% where it's just like, huh? Wait a second, actually. Yeah, because like I don't know, it's like weird, honestly. Yeah, it's like weird. Because it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The thing with like personally speaking, I just don't think that culture is necessarily attached to race in particular. I just don't think that it is. It's not necessarily, it is, but not necessarily all the time, actually. It's like rather complex. It's like when you actually see like other people like throwing the argument, I'm like, yeah, but like there's just a teeny tiny bit that doesn't. It's like you sometimes agree with everything that they're saying, like 90%, and like the 10% there's like, yeah, I mean it's factual, but your intent is like going towards another side, which kind of makes me like a little bit on the questioning things, basically, because of like, I mean, yeah, the intent is to get the place that you're living in like in the best shape possible, basically. So it's like most of the time it's just like the intent of you trying to get the give me a second, actually. Okay, bear with me. Okay, sorry about that, but yeah, it's like most of the time whenever I see some of that case, it's like, yeah, like basically it's just like just because I don't agree with the 10%, I don't think the whole argument needs to be thrown in the trash, basically, because it's like, yeah, I mean, logically speaking, like the intent is to get like the most pleasant place where you can live in, basically. But it's just like the intent of some of the things is like, I mean, yeah, it's the intent, basically. It's not necessarily the context. It's like, logically speaking, everything is right. It's just that the intent of the logic sometimes that get used by just like 10%, like not even 10%, like 5% of the whole message. It's just like, I mean, yeah, there's like, it's just that one teeny tiny bit can like incite like a lot of like conflict on purpose, basically. And it's like, yeah, like I feel like most of the time it really becomes this kind of deal where like people in general, most of the time, like conflicts rise because of that teeny tiny 10% of disagreement, basically. Like I feel like most discussions are just like that, where it's just like, okay, yeah, you agree with 90% of the things that people are saying, but like the 10%, suddenly people can get up in arms and be like, okay, yeah, well, because this 10% is not necessarily like something that I agree with, like I'm going to take my own side, basically, which, yeah, because like at the end of the day, it's intent, basically. Like I feel like the intent is the realistically the end solution of things, basically. In a lot of arguments, most of the time it's just like, okay, you intend to do something positive for your own community, and it's like, I mean, yeah, that is the thing, really. But it's like, yeah, it's like sometimes it's just like, okay, well, sure, keep the community as pure as possible, because that is the way that you can actually have it the best, like we have the best experience because we have the most pure experience out of it. And it's like, I feel like that's just a common thing with any kind of fandom, in any kind of culture, in any kind of like space where humans are like sitting in. Like no matter what, it kind of feels like it. Like yeah, most definitely that's the case, really. But yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's just that people are weird, specifically. Like, people are really goddamn weird. And it's like, I mean, in some cases, when you compare it to otaku culture, really, is like a lot of people are like, we want things to be as pure as possible when it comes to like the art style, right? It's like, I feel like that's a common thing. Like people just go around and they're like, dude, I just want the most original artwork out there, because that's what the artist intended, basically. And it's like the whole argument of like, like psychology when it comes to like people comparing themselves to every single individual out there, making you insecure in its own way. It kind of makes it like, the thing is, like, social media, in just by nature, the problem of social media nowadays is that by nature you are obligated to compare yourself to everyone else. Basically, you have like a little bit of an obligation to do so, and you kind of have to compare where, I mean, yeah, every single individual out there, no matter in which scenario you're in, you try to compare yourself to the ideal, no matter what. And it's like sometimes the ideal is the utopian thing that is the most pleasant setting, essentially. But yeah, it's just like, when it comes to things, really, like, most of the time, it's like some adjustments are made in order for, with the intent of improving the community, sometimes. Not necessarily always, but sometimes. Because, like, it always comes down to, like, this kind of deal where like, in animation in particular, is like, you want something to be as watchable for the whole family as possible. So you got as many people as possible doing that. And it's like, in the case of animation, and anime in particular, is like, I mean, yeah, it's like paved, I wouldn't say plagued, but paved with a lot of fan service in particular. And it's like, when it comes to like fan service, it's like, it's not a terrible thing. And it's like, I'm in the camp where I totally would understand if there's like more anime that has more romance setting. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily like focus on fan service in particular. And it's like, but yeah, just because you want that doesn't really mean that you should like remove a lot of the artist's perspective, really. Because at the end of the day, that's what is really chaotic, and what really like irks people most of the time, because it's like, dude, I want it to be like, as in like, the intent of culture in itself is always about the individual, and if the individual's intent is to sell something in a particular way, it's like, yeah, I mean, in some cases you want things to be sold in a particular way, so it gets packaged in the best way possible. But yeah, it's like, when it comes to like controversial topics, it's almost like the 10% of disagreement that happens in a specific situation, really, is like what makes and breaks it, like any kind of discussion table, no matter what. And it's like, most of the time, it's just like, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree 90% with everything that you said. Just that 10% that kind of like makes me think that, because like that. Okay, hear me out on this one. So most people are insecure by nature. Media has made a lot of people insecure about their bodies, about their personalities, about how they're supposed to be, and about how they should be in a particular way, right? Just by the nature of social media has done that specifically. Social media has gone that far that it's designed for you to get addicted to comparing yourself at all times. And it's not always, I mean, it was even in television at some point, and people got tired of it because, like, the result of it, if you think about it, it's just like most of the time what we got out of that kind of like mentality was like a lot of selfish people trying to like cancel things and getting things to be worse and the worst package. That's what we got out of that kind of system, really. And it's like, when it comes to it, it's just the biggest problem is that a lot of the package, like, just because people don't really stand their ground, disagree with that slight 10%, just because people don't want to do that, they don't want to admit that they disagree with like that 10%, that's when things that's because that's the reason why things get carried away, basically. And that's when people are like, okay, well, what do you mean? What do you disagree with it in like that 10%? And it's like, most of the time when it comes to media, I feel like that is the biggest problem. That is like, people just disagree with that 10%, that 10% of disagreement. It just becomes hell because of it, because then we start agreeing to outrageous things because of it. So yeah, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to, like, don't get me wrong, I really don't want to, like, shove my hands into the whole, like, racial type of purity type of bullcrap, because I kind of, like, low-key disagree with it, no matter what. Just specifically because of the story of the country that I live in, basically, because, like, the biggest problem when it comes to, like, race in particular, okay, yeah, you're gonna end up making me talk about it, but it's fine. The biggest problem with like a lot of cultures, it's that they didn't live through castes. And it's like, I didn't live through them, but like my country in particular has like a history of it, where like castes were implemented, where society was split in a particular hierarchy because of like how you were born, basically. It's like, okay, you were born as a half like black person and a white person. Okay, you fall into this category. Okay, you were born out of a Spaniard and an indigenous person. Okay, so you fall in this category. And it's like the whole thing of like, okay, like, okay, you are of this kind of like racial background, and it's like you kind of fall into this background, actually. Okay, let me okay, let me get it. Let me get it. Okay. Okay, it's casta, sorry. The casta system, basically. Like the casta system, really in particular, like there was even like paintings about it over like the peninsulares, basically, which were born in Spain and had like the biggest privileges of hierarchy, and like the Spaniards, those who were born in Spain and the colonies, then the criollos, then the mestizos, then the mulattoes, then the zambos, then the castizos, the Moriscos and the Tresalvos, basically. And it's like the biggest thing, like, was the implication, basically. Like the implication that just because you were a son of a Spaniard and the son of like the son of a Spaniard and of a native, suddenly you became like an outcast, basically, and you like lowered your class because of your specific racial standing, basically. And it's like that is the biggest problem most of the time with a lot of like social cultures in particular. Like that was the biggest problem, because like a lot of people saw like a lot of the injustice out of it, because it's like, okay, well, just suddenly I'm screwed because I was born in a particular like setting. Like I didn't choose to be genetically like this. Like I didn't choose to. Like I was born with a color of skin. Like I was, okay, I'm kind of white, but it's like I didn't choose to be. And it's like within my genetics, there's like a bunch of combination about it. And it's like because of it, like a lot of that argument about like social hierarchy, it's just like a can of worms that just doesn't really make any sense when it comes to like who's supposed to be on top. If you were the most originally born, if you're like if you were born in the most purest of ways, you're like supposed to be on the height of the castas system. Like if you were a peninsular, you're suddenly set for life, basically. It's like it's not necessarily something that I think is something that should be encouraged in particular, because you bring like a lot of issues. It's like you don't bring up culture, you don't bring up people actually trying to help the community. You bring up like a lot of people bring up this kind of like idea that because you are in a particular setting, suddenly you're supposed to be on the peak of everything, basically. It's like, no, not necessarily like that. But it's like, okay, but you're kind of like on the same culture and trying to reinforce the same culture. Okay, that's different though, because it's like you're trying, like racially, it doesn't really matter what you are. But it's like, and it's like, okay, you keep working and making everything work as it's supposed to be, and having the most ideal society in which you're gonna actually live in. Okay, that's great. Actually, that's amazing even. But one thing is that, and another one is culturally I'm different. Therefore, I need to culturally erase everything that is coming in, that has been already established, because now I am the superior one because I'm unique. It's exactly the same casta system, just the other way around. It's like suddenly you're no longer like a peninsular, suddenly no longer is the one that is like ruling, but it's like, okay, suddenly like the mulatto is the one that is ruling, and it's like, okay, yeah, well, because I'm mulatto, I'm privileged enough for me to go fuck yourself. And it's just like, no, not exactly that as well. Like it doesn't work like that. Like specifically, that is the dumbest idea ever, to kind of like bend over and say that, okay, just because you're diverse, you have more entitlement over another person. The same way that just because you were born a peninsular doesn't mean, like, it doesn't mean that you're entitled to everything. It's like, it's kind of like the same thing. It's like most of the time it really comes down to like, what community are you like? Are you trying to be part of the like a functioning community? And is your objective trying to push the community and the culture that you are part of? Then yeah, absolutely, that's something different, because at that point you care about the culture enough that you actually take care of the buildings, you take care of like of your community, you don't like destroy things, you don't like do anything that breaks, like anything that has been built in the purpose of making the most pleasant experience for you to live in a particular place. And it's like, there's always going to be disagreements, sure. Like, there's always going to be people who want to rebel. There's always going to be young people trying to impose their own views because, one, they're sometimes naive, or two, they've been taught that they need to fight in order for them to stand out. As like, it's something that is natural within younger people, basically. It's something natural. It's just a human cycle. It's a human pattern that continues through the decades and every age. There's always this kind of mentality of younger people because they want things to change for themselves better. They want to live better. And younger people are always going to fight for it because no matter what, like, they just don't want to feel like they're stuck. It's the same way as like a person that defends their like own peninsularis type of idea. Is like, they don't want to be stuck on like a specific label. They really don't. And sometimes they don't, but like sometimes they want to fight within their own labels, within their own terms, and they kind of like come in and try to be the ones that become important within the culture itself. But it's like, it's a cyclical thing when it comes to humanity. It's cyclical. It's always like this. Always has been. But yeah, it's like, when it comes to like all this kind of like scenarios about like authenticity of blood, that's where I kind of like disagree with it. Basically, because like culture, like blood purity does not equal culture. And it doesn't really necessarily mean that the same thing, essentially. As like, it's not something that should be accepted no matter what, I feel. Like, no matter what, it's something that shouldn't be like hard-coded into people, basically. It's like, just because you're white, you're not supposed to be like something that is commonly attached to white people. Like, just because you're white, it doesn't really mean that you should be that. It's the same thing. It's like, just because you're Asian doesn't really mean that you should be something. And it's like, okay, you're part of a particular culture. Okay, well, there you go. You're trying to build up into that culture. That's perfectly fine. Like, it's you putting a caste system just because you want to have like, you want a region to have a specific kind of mentality and have a specific way ahead of life. It doesn't necessarily mean that is something that should happen. Because at the end of the day, we're like, as individuals, it just becomes this kind of deal where it's just like, because we're individuals, we fight for our own individualism. We fight to stand out. We fight to see ourselves on the top sometimes. And it's like, even within their own cultural systems, they still did that. They still do that. It's just a matter of fact that, in particular, it's just like, racially speaking, genetically speaking, we shouldn't be bound to have like some kind of defense that just because we have the most authentic blood means that we should be entitled to everything. The same way that just because I'm the different blood, I'm entitled to everything. It's the same way in both ways. It doesn't mean that. However, if culturally speaking, another person starts shoving their culture and they're like, okay, you're living in my place, and it's like, okay, well, you're living in my place and you're suddenly behaving in a weird way that we're not used to, and you're enforcing that and kicking people out of it, it's like, yeah, that is very valid for you to be pissed off about, because that's the culture. That's not the culture that you were put through. That's not the education that you were put through. So yeah, it's like, it's completely understandable from that standpoint. And it's like, a lot of people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, well, what do I tell you? Like, I'm supposed to be ahead because I was born here, and everything, and all my family has been born here. And it's like, sure, you're kind of like entitled to some degree. Like, you're totally entitled to that mentality. But it's just like, just because of that doesn't mean that you're superior when it comes to like benefits. The same way that the other person that has another cultural background isn't entitled to get all those benefits as well, because they're not helping the building of the society that you're used to. They're not reinforcing society. They're not reinforcing the society that people are pushing through. They're not trying to contribute to society in any way. And if they're not contributing to society in any way, like, for people to be pissed about it, it's absolutely reasonable. Like, I think that is the most logical thing that you can say. That is the most logical thing that you can say. But the one thing that I totally will always disagree with is the fact that you're entitled to power because of your racial origins and your purity of blood. That is the one thing that I actually disagree with. So yeah, it's like, I mean, and I say this because this is kind of like the core of Mexican culture in particular. Literally, this is the most Mexican thing ever. Why? Because we from the beginning of our country, we went through that. And it was incredibly stupid. Because Spaniards now have to deal with the fact that their own sons and daughters, they're not important enough because they are not pure-blooded. And it's kind of the same thing where, like, suddenly a British man falls in love with, like, I don't know, some kind of girl that really likes curry, and she smells like it. I was like, oh, just because, like, suddenly, like he likes he like did the clap dance with like a curry girl. Suddenly I'm in the curry like motherfucking basement, and I'm forever stuck in the curry basement because, like, oh my god, my dad decided to clap a curry girl. And it's like, dude, I'm fucked. I'm an Englishman, and suddenly I'm fucked because I fucked the curry girl. Because my dad fucked the curry girl. Like, no. I feel like that's stupid. Like, that is absolutely stupid. No matter how fucking, like, how some views are kind of like trying to be for the purist. It's like, no. Actually, that's the one thing that no matter what is stupid. That is stupidity to its highest level. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's like, I feel like that is the best way to explain it, no matter what. I was like, I feel like it's not something that should be uniquely Mexican just because within our history we went through that in the very beginning. Like, maybe not. Like, dude, it's like over here in Mexico, we decided to be like, okay, yeah, let's just chill. Just because like my dad banged the Spaniard doesn't, like my mom banged the Spaniard doesn't mean that I'm like not entitled to things. And it's like, okay, no, but like you're kind of entitled to things, but like not really. And it's like, okay, whatever, cool. Like we're never going to, motherfucker. Like in the most administration way possible, if any kind of business decision that gets made gets broken down because, oh, suddenly I'm like 10% black over here, it's like, sorry, I'm 10% black and culturally I'm a little bit different, and because of it I need to be like the blackest guy in the room. It's like, no, that is stupid as well. That is absolutely stupid. It's like, it's an excuse. It's an excuse to get ahead in the power game. It's literally an excuse. And it's like, that excuse, that 10% of an excuse destroys businesses, destroys countries, destroys everything, just because of that 10% where people are like, I want the purest blood to be carried into the utopia that was built before. It's like, I know, dude. So yeah, it's like any business, any kind of administration, anything. Just because you disagree with the 10% of like racial status, you break the entire building down because of that 10%. Is like something that seems just not functional. It's just not functional. Because it's always going to be, but I was superior, but I wasn't here since my family has been since 900 BC. I've been here since the beginning of the Paleolithic. Even in Pangea, I was since the beginning of my family has been in Pangea since the beginning of this land. Like, I'm entitled to everything. And it's like, not necessarily, actually. Oh, I take care of the community and actually build up like a lot of things that actually help the community feel safer, more comfortable, feel the streets cleaner and everything like that. Okay, that's different. Okay, then you're kind of entitled to the community itself, isn't it? Because you're actually building something. That is different because it's like you're actually building something. You're putting effort, you're putting action, you're putting everything. I was like, if that is the case, well, go ahead, actually, just knock yourself out, make life comfortable for everyone else. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that really is just, at the end of it, that really is like the end goal of any society, to remove that kind of mentality. The end goal of every fucking society at this point in any country is to have that stupid erasing type of deal and denying themselves the possibility of contributing into society better and feeling more comfortable within society, so they can actually have a better society that they can live in, a safe society, a comfortable society, a pleasant society that they can live in. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like, that you need to erase it, like you need to integrate every bit of another culture in order for you to like please the other culture. It's like, no, because if you do that, you get eaten. Your culture gets eaten on the way and you get eradicated. Like, that's not the point. The point is defending the culture that you're part of, or that you feel that you belong to, and be like, yeah, I actually support this. I like this. Therefore, I'm gonna push for it to be more reinforced and more civilized and more accepting of things that are not necessarily like that defining, colliding thing about racial purity. Because there's always going to be one fucker. There's always going to be one fucker that is gonna be like, yeah, well, I'm of this race, and because of it, I'm a victim, or I'm superior, and because of it, I'm supposed to have privileges over the other person. So yeah, it's like, as long as people stop packaging the whole like data pack that is like race equals a culture, no, like not necessarily, but the actions show otherwise, actually. Like, if your intent is to keep building, and then go ahead, okay? Like, that is the point. That is the entire point of the whole thing. That is literally the point of having a society. That is the end goal of any society. That is the end goal. And it's like, if the end goal isn't even on the side of people, and if the end goal isn't even like even remotely being enforced and pushed by the people who are trying to actually preserve it, then you don't have anything. Like, there's nothing to defend, there's nothing to preserve. It's just mindless people just screaming for the sake of screaming. It's like, is that common within every single society? Yes, it is. Every single society has those. Every single society has those people that are just trying to fuel the rage, so people actually try to disagree with them, and they're like, yeah, I mean, you are kind of like on the wrong, because you did not fall for my guilt trip. You did not fall for it, therefore you are my enemy. And it's like, no, neither. So yeah, I mean, and is it difficult? Well, yeah, it is. Like, it's a job. Like, administration is a job that people break their heads over, like, literally. Administrating people is probably the most painful job that you could ever do. Because you need to keep up with every single individual that is part of your community and make sure that everything is under control. You have to make sure, like, no matter what. And it's a constant work. It's not like, even within my own culture, I see people that think that because there's conflict, there's a problem that needs to be solved. And once that problem is ultimately solved, everyone will be happy. And it's like, no, neither, because like, humans are made out of problems, basically. Human beings are made out of problems. And every problem requires us every unique problem requires a solution. Now multiply that by millions. And then you have like a bunch of people complaining about stuff all the time because things are not ideal in their own world. And just because they cannot get the 10%, they are unhappy. I was like, okay, yeah, the counter argument is like, it's not 10%, it's everything else. Well, yeah, but even within the countering argument, that 10% is what basically grinds people's gears. And unless people actually are honest about it, about seeing the problems that there is, people won't move anywhere. It's like a lot of times when it comes to like these kind of issues, people are kind of masked on because they're insecure, basically. Like, it's as simple as that. You know what I honestly think? I think that the biggest problem that we have as a society is the fact that every single individual feels insecure to be themselves because they feel pressured by society to behave in a particular way, and they do not think of themselves because marketing and society keeps marketing to other people to think and compare themselves at all times in order for them to belong to society. They compare themselves to everything. It's insecurity eats the people's minds. And because insecurity eats people's minds, they just don't know what to do or what to say. It's like, am I saying the right thing? Am I saying the wrong thing? What am I supposed to say? Dude, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm in the wrong side of history? What if like the side that suddenly is winning suddenly shuts me down to my core because suddenly I'm supposed to say everything that they're saying because everyone in that side is also insecure. And they're not willing to try to pursue the true people that they are because they just want to feel like they belong to something. So that is the thing, really. Like, if people don't genuinely debate the people, like the problems that are going through their heads, until that happens, actually, nothing will ever get fixed. Everything will be gaslighted. Everything will be guilt-tripped into place. Digital IDs will be guilt-tripped into people because they want to feel safe and everything. And just because of that 10% of disagreement, or like 20, 30, anything, they don't positively move towards a system that actually helps them. And they move even forward into this controlled environment that takes away their freedoms slowly by thinking that they're on the same side. As like, even people are willing to accept feeling captive if they are right about that specific topic. People are fucking willing to be on the right side of history, and so much that they would even imprison themselves on purpose just because they feel safer in the community saying that this is for safety. And they don't even think about the possibilities of like a new system getting implemented, the use case scenario of these tools, and any kind of like, they don't think about that. They really don't. No, their purpose is, I need to win. I don't care if like half of my population gets enslaved because of it. No, I need to win. The culture, the race needs to win, the bloodline needs to win. And it's like, oh yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's like most of the time it really becomes this kind of deal. Like really, it just becomes this sort of deal where nobody really truly speak their mind because they're fearful of powerful people who want the world to be a specific way, basically. And it's like the movement to a better society starts by actually removing bullshit ideas that don't make any sense to begin with. They really don't. I was like, yeah, I mean that is literally the message of this era, like the trend of this era, that is like they're willing to go full stupid if they're right about something, if they feel like they're right about something. They're willing to intoxicate themselves if it means that they're right against someone. If it means that they attack someone, I'm willing to be fucking wrong just for the sake of spiting another person. Like that's literally what society has become at this point. Literally, this is what society has become. I was like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I kind of get that inclusion, like forceful inclusion, sometimes it's like a really stupid idea. Like it really is, kind of. Why? Because like, I mean, just because you're like British or just because you're something doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to welcome your neighbor to your house every single day. Now, are you? It's like it really doesn't mean that as well. Like maybe in some cases, but not every single neighbor you're going to invite into your house. It's like just the neighbors that you actually kind of enjoy having around, basically. And again, it's like individualism. Just because you're a nice person, okay, well, I'll invite you around and be like, have a beer or something. Cool. That's different. But yeah, it's just like what I tell you, dude. It's like this is something that always happens, always, every single time. And people think that they have the solution, but no, they don't. There's no ultimate solution. Like you keep the cycle, you keep like variety, you keep everything, and sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't, because like again, individuals kind of fight individuals, and it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, what do you do? What do you do in that scenario? What do you do? So yeah, it's like, again, it's like not inclusion for the sake of inclusion, but also not segregation for the sake of segregating as many people as possible. Because you want your big castle, because at that point it's like you're just eating everyone up at this point. So yeah, and it's like this is something that I've been thinking about like the entire time, where it's like dude, like back in the 90s or like the early 2010, like everyone motherfucking like kept saying about, oh, like fighting the man, like don't be like a slave to corporations. Don't be that. Don't be that, dude. Do not. Actually, love and peace and everything. And it's like some of them actually ended up making huge businesses, and suddenly like a lot of them that had that mentality, suddenly they're facing like a lot of like suddenly they became the thing that they sought to destroy, basically, because they kind of need to keep a system that actually aids them. So yeah, it's like I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's complex. It's most of the time it's dishonest, and I feel like most people are dishonest just for the sake of not wanting to be catered in the stupid pile of, oh, you're an individual. Okay, well, okay, individual. Suddenly, you're the one on the wrong side of history because you did not agree 100% with the powerful person. Wow. Okay, great. Just because I'm not a puppet, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad citizen. Okay, like just because I'm not a motherfucking puppet doesn't make me bad. Just because I don't want to feel like I'm being puppeted doesn't make me bad. The same way that other people are kind of defending themselves in their own respective way. Even the concept of being good and bad is stupid in its own nature. It's a paradox. It's like, good to who? Good to what? Bad to what? Bad for your health? Good for your health? Okay, well, if we're talking about health, then let's just talk about having smartphones. Let's talk about it. Why the fuck do you have like a 4-year-old on a fucking smartphone? Why? Like, why the fuck do you have that? Why are people stupid like that? Why are people that stupid? That's a better talking point. But nobody talks about it because everyone is like, dude, I want my social media money. And even if like a 4-year-old is watching me, is good on my book. What? God. Like nobody, okay. Like I barely see anything about that. I barely fucking see people talking about the outrageous contracts that you sign up to whenever you use services. I've only seen literally one fucker doing that. Maybe 2, 3. There's like 3 fuckers actually going for that. For like the end user bullshit. Like 3 whole fuckers. Everyone else is like, oh, look at that stupid guy drinking medicine. Oh, let's laugh about him. Oh, wow, I'm trying to preserve my authentic bloodline. Oh, I disagree with this person. Let me debate them over how stupid their views are so I can actually make the other person look dumber than me. And it's like they're not actually fighting the actual things that you actually need to fight for. You suddenly don't fight for better living conditions. You don't. You motherfuckers don't. You aren't. You keep agreeing to outrageous laws because you want to spite the other side. What the fuck? And I'm the dumbass. And suddenly I'm the dumbass. Wow. Okay. No. If I'm the dumbass, I don't know what the fuck the world is doing. Like literally, I don't know what the fuck people are doing. Why? Okay, if I'm the dude, I might as well just wear the whole clown suit. I might as well. Why not? The entire world seems to love the idea of clowns. They love to dress themselves as them all the time. Like, wow, okay, great. No, yeah, cool. No, yeah. It's like, dude, I don't even know, dude. Like, the bullshit that some people pull is just outrageous. It's like, a lot of people will say, dude, natural selection. It's like, I don't even want to say that because I believe, dude, I'm the kind of person that believes that most people just don't have the whole context. Most people don't, because they don't have the time to actually do that. They have to go outside and work and actually do bullshit, so they actually got a pleasant evening. And it's like the only thing that they get fed off is like stupid news that kind of like agree with their stupid viewpoints. But yeah, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like specifically, it's just like, if I have to get Mexican in this place and be like, okay, casta system is stupid move no matter in which position of the world you're in, then I have to. Okay, sure, go ahead, I'm gonna do that. Fuck you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like literally that really is. The thing mostly with like society nowadays. We literally live in a society. We literally do. We live in a society of insecure people trying to fit in the world. They will go lengths to break themselves, look stupid, make outrageous claims, say really like put themselves up to attention for the sake of actually feeling like they belong somewhere. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not that I'm disappointed. It's just that I know that people are gonna be stupid and say things out of spite or just do anything of that sort. I know that. People are gonna do that. But doesn't mean that I have to accept it. Doesn't mean that I have to be just as stupid as everyone else. It really doesn't mean that. Do you really need to be as stupid as everyone else? Do you really do fuckers really have a necessity to be stupid just for the sake of fitting? It's like, I guess sadly, and it's like, this is the motherfucking reason why I kind of like it inside of my room like most of the time. It's just like, it's cozy. I don't hear stupid people talking about stupid arguments, basically. Where it's like, yeah, I mean, even to that point, I got to a boiling point where I'm like, okay, people are being too stupid. Like, people are being too fucking stupid. Please can you not? And you stop being like shoving shit inside of your mouth because you want to spite people? So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like legitimately, like I don't know if I'm the sole fucker that is actually doing this. I feel like I shouldn't have. I feel like I'm the fucker that should have just been onto, dude, just talk about anime and weep shit and bullshit. Like I feel like I should have just been that dude. I feel like I should have. But you know what? Cool. Oh, dude, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Okay, be right back. All right. Dude, it's like, you know what it is, actually? Okay, let's go over here. Let's get over here, actually. Yeah, I got myself like a marshmallow cookie. That's pretty good. Or like, dude, the thing is, I feel like as well, I feel like the Western educational system has failed. It kind of feels like it. Because like the administration kind of like low-key, what's it called? Because like specifically, just the educational system doesn't actually like encourage you to administrate anything. It's just like the Western system kind of like low-key just encourages you to like follow orders, basically. Like a lot of it. A lot of it. And it doesn't necessarily like encourage you to be like, I don't know how to put it. Like, it doesn't necessarily encourage you to actually do something. Create, like, doesn't help you into project management. Like, it really doesn't. It doesn't really like help you or encourage you to create projects. The only thing that it encourages you is to essentially follow a line of code or behavior that smart people are supposed to have, basically. And it's like, yeah, I feel like that is just truth in its own core. Because the system itself kind of just keep telling you, well, you need to be dependent on me, or on everything that has been built on Western society. You need to depend on it. You need to follow rules. You need to follow our rules, essentially. I was like, it's kind of like a mental trap to begin with, because the psychological implications of an individual that is always thinking about being a good person is always looking to be the least bothersome. It is like, do you really want an individual to be the least bothersome when it comes to project management, when it means to actually build a project? No, you want them to bother you, so actually discussing and putting your output and actually saying what are the things that you actually want to see. Like, you have a creative input because of the knowledge and experiences that you've had. As like most of society nowadays, they don't do that. They just say, you need to be a good person. I need to shame you if you're a bad person. And it's like, nowadays, when it comes to like all these like constructions of society, it's always like, dude, I'm just being the good person in the room. I'm telling you how it is. And it's like, you're not supposed to like go against what the main guy is saying. You're not supposed to. And even society in itself discourages you to create your own projects. Because it's like, what's the point? You're just going to keep agreeing to stupid contracts within technology, so your freedoms keep being sold away. Nobody reads the terms and conditions of services. Nobody does that. Most people don't. Oh, you read them? Okay, do you get a medal? Not really. You just wasted an entire afternoon. Dude, the entire point of me is being entertained. I'm not gonna waste an entire evening reading like a bunch of terms of conditions. Oh wait, by the way, did I just agree to actually like selling my privacy to every single individual out there? Oh, I guess I did. Did I just agree to outrageous DRM? Did I just agree into having every single bit of my body to be in a cloud computer? It's like, yeah, I mean, maybe you did. I don't know. I was like, oh wow, okay. I was like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Do I tell you? Do I just soft encourage you and tell you, you're doing great, buddy? Keep being yourself. Keep being yourself. Keep being a fucker that is in his phone all day. And keep agreeing to things like Spotify. Keep agreeing to cloud services. Keep agreeing to online IDs. Keep agreeing to everything that takes your freedom away. Keep agreeing to it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, what? Like, literally, this is what is happening. Like, people fighting over the dumbest shit and actually not checking out every single term and condition. Literally what is happening. Literally stupid people yelling on the internet saying, I don't have my utopia. And then saying, oh, sorry, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing that you're doing. Oh. There is like, I miss 2012's, 2015's internet. Like I do, actually. And I don't want to say that I was younger or that things are better back then, or like, yeah, and we didn't have as much technology as before, or like there's more normies on the internet, or like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just that a lot of people subscribed to the idea that they're progressing through society by selling products that actually conform to more control of society and taking their freedoms away, and call it progress and program it as progress because they believe that progress is being the good guy that big person mandates. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's literally that. Like, what do I tell you? Like, yeah. Oh, okay, well, gotta keep the sponsors happy that you're being super kooky and being like, influencer with makeup and like, and that you're incredibly hot and everything. Gotta keep the sponsors happy, but it was like, yeah. Oh yeah, the sponsors want people to just duke it out like we're on the fucking, like, what's it called? The Hunger Wars. Should I say, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that? Literally, what is that? So yeah. Dude, do I just put ASMR while I'm talking? Like, I might as well. I might as fucking well do that. And like, in some cases, like, don't get me wrong, like, when it comes to, like, what is it called? Like, nowadays, like the content, like what is content even? Like, I feel like what is content even? Like, what is content? It was like, okay, dude, like, is content nowadays just making like actual Earth like an Albion server, and it's like, oh yeah, you we're going against this other guild. Check it out at 11 p.m. We are making a raid in the northern parts of the island. Please check it out. We're banning it on the fat one. He's a good tank. He purchased like all the good tank items, and he's gonna go in there, and he's gonna be the chunkiest boy. He's gonna take an entire fire hose to the face, and he will continue moving forward because he's the chunky boy. I was like, dude, I'm betting more on the skinny dude that runs very fast. Okay, I'm doing that. I was like, dude, like, how much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that there's actually people who are doing that? How much do you want to bet? There is. Ugh. Okay, let's play some video games, shall we? Let's do that. But yeah, it's like, don't get me wrong. It's like, by the nature of human beings, even if you find any kind of utopia, there will always be one reason to be angry. Always. There will always be one reason to be angry. So like, why be angry? Like, for things that actually don't matter. Why? Why, actually? Okay, wait, what the hell? Okay, is my game working or what is going on? Oh, it is. Cool. Okay, wait. Let me put like the task manager in bullcrap right now. Okay, I just killed my entire eardrums. That's great. Actually, let me fix something real quick. Okay, apparently this is like the last chapter of bullcrap, basically. Okay, wait. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Where is my mouse? Dude, where is my mouse? Okay, give me a second, actually. I need to check out where my mouse is. Okay, it kind of disappeared for some reason. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay. Okay, let's relaunch it. Yeah. Okay, is the game like... I'm not detecting any sound that is coming from the game sound in particular. Okay, let me check something real quick. Let me check the stream. Let me check the stream real quick. Okay, wait a millisecond. Okay. Okay, let's check this. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah, there's no sound coming from it. What? Why? What? Dude, I'm actually listening to myself, actually, my own argument. It's like, dude, I'm proud of myself. Oh, dude, my microphone peaks out like a lot. What the fuck? cool. But yeah, I just noticed that, like the sound. Oh my god. Dude. Dude, it's like, I don't know, really. Oh, dude, it's kind of entertaining to see myself, like, see myself. It kind of is entertaining to see myself, like, talking about random bullcrap. Actually, it really is. It really is entertaining. Okay, wait. But yeah, it's like the game sound in particular. It's not loading. But yeah, okay, let me do something real quick. I feel like it tends to do with the fact that, what is it? Um, let's do this one. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. But it's like that's the thing, really, when it comes to like when it comes to culture in particular. And it's like, okay, dude, like, I hate to listening to myself because I stutter a lot. But yeah. The Organic, if you're reading this, I may be in great danger. I fear that someone from the Tia tribe has discovered our mission and will try to stop it. They might even sabotage the portal, preventing you from using it as usual. The good news is that I managed to leave one last charge, allowing you to travel to the Tia tribe. But be warned, this journey is a one-way trip. You might want to visit the healer or the artisan once more to enhance your abilities. Stay cautious, Kanek, and may the gods be with you, the master. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's like I kind of noticed that I stutter way too much, actually. God, that sucks, actually. The Tiot tribe. Why is it a cobra? Do we have cobras over here? Like, I don't even know. I don't know what kind of snake is that.
Makeltak mulik. Fatbak ukliaktak milel. Kusi hashiltas bel kusil tahulubalita hun. Kusita shertas bel. Behik chulek tawakulil. Okay, interesting concept, I guess. like, I mean, yeah, in general, like when it comes to like culture in general, it's like rejection is always like something that happens. It always happens. Even I would even go as far to say that the gaming culture is like the most kind of like rejecting kind of culture, because in general it tries to like only protect the community in which the players are kind of like agreeing with the same thing. And it's like, you know what it is about gaming culture is like, even though that is totally fair. Oh crap, the game is lagging really bad. Even though that is fair within its own terms, really, it's like at least they try to push the technology, so they, or like they push the culture in its own way, because even at least they try something new. It's like, do I like Ubisoft like most of the time? I don't. I really don't. Like, do I like their approach? Not necessarily, no. But it's like, at least they're trying. Like, I will give Ubisoft that kind of like, that merit in its own way. Because it's like, at least they're fucking trying. Jeez. Do people like face rejection because of it? Yeah, absolutely. Like, sure. That always happens. I was like, yeah, there is pushing a culture and sometimes just making enticing characters that are different. Like, it's similar, but it's not entirely the same. It's like, the argument is always like, well, they have to think exactly the same. And to that, the argument is like, when you date someone, do you date yourself or do you date another person? Because if you were agreeing with the person that agrees with everything that you're saying, you're just dating yourself. Literally, you're literally fucking yourself. You're not fucking a girl. That's not your girl. You're like opening up like a pumpkin, shoving your meat inside of it, and just showing like a mirror on top of it, because it's like, yeah, she agrees exactly with everything that I'm saying. By the way, it's me. Wow. Well, I don't know about that one. Okay, cool. I mean, it's getting a little bit repetitive. Not gonna lie. Dude, this is the part where the design should have been better. It should have been like more like things move faster. You get like more things flying at you, not just like a bunch of things just piled up. Oh, this okay, low-key this section sucks. It doesn't have the same effect. No, it really doesn't. Okay, cool. Temple key acquired. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Well, that was easy. Okay.
Matil, kusi op tahumel, kusi hulmel. Vikuoksapajuk, kahkapontakna, jattuhon kohti.
What the hell is a wayev? Sounds like a guayava. A guava, basically.
Alik nasho kurta humpa sans milang tawayev. Unkakal kinta paso kopohel.
Dude, I feel like this kind of scene is better than the slides. This is better. This is strictly better.
Ujitakular camping tahojek tatipinahel. Tamuja lolhel kaptek. Mitä ispatilek sabajelta mejajotik? Sakambatik kanal jipiok. Ja kalishulal aitsebe. Bea boykanek. Kamik biju hunki blik takbaktun. Ja kapobilta jumbeha smukulal. Mauksai, mitä ispatilek? Ja mi juhun kikbilik. Kushuutta chuutta kinil. Bea poikanik. Mut sitta kushul. Kuskinal bajo lehta kushon.
Okay, cool.
Jouksa jäi chaik. Miku sitikta jäi. Bea poikanik. Kushutsululta jantik. Kusta kotik bajunti. Kusta johkulek bajik. Ta askapohel.
Okay, cool. He's dead. The Tiot Temple. Ah, great. Okay, this map is a little bit smaller. Cool. But yeah, it's like, I tell you with this, like, within a specific context. Like, no matter what, there's always going to be freaks that want it to be, like, as motherfucking authentic as possible. And sometimes they take it a little bit too far. And it's like, from any kind of culture, that happens. Any kind of culture, take a step away. Mainly because insecure people are like, oh yeah, well, these people are part of my culture. They won't do no harm to me, and they do, actually. Like it's always that specifically, no matter what. That's like, by human nature, there's always harm, no matter what. Either by you, like, for example, you seeing a cute girl, there will always be one fucker from your culture that will try to make hell out of you. Same thing with other cultures. They will always do that. And the excuse will always be the same. They're different. And like, the excuses will always be made the same. The level of disagreement in which people can take it, like, even if it's like 10% of disagreement, if people are not clear with their communications, it always goes to hell, essentially. It always does. Because suddenly, like, people feel entitled to their own position. Like, because it's like, oh dude, it's like democracy, right? Like, you see, you're stuck yourself in a room with 150 people, algorithmically arranged, and that algorithm is going to be the closest thing that you can ever get. And it's like, is even then, are they going to be exactly like you and think exactly the same? And it's like, the illusion of it is there. It's like, yeah, that's why you consume it sometimes, because the illusion to feel that, oh crap, okay, because the illusion that there's someone that thinks exactly like you is there. Okay, the gate was opened. Okay, what the fuck? The spike suddenly appeared. But yeah, it's like, that is the thing specifically. But it's like, yeah, not exactly, not necessarily. Like, the 100% exact thought is what goes through, not necessarily. Needs, even especially when there's people from other cultures saying, okay, yeah, well, this is not how things are supposed to be because this engine has been built in a particular way, and because this engine has been built in this way, it must be the only way that the engine can work. And it's like, no, not necessarily. Like, gaming engines get made all the time. Cultural engines can change. Like, I don't know. Anything. Oh, crap. Cool. I was like, yeah, I mean, cultural engines always spawn. They're called individuals, basically. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, okay, cool. Okay. Okay, Oh, dude, the performance. Oh, I can do that. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. God fucking damn it. Great. Okay. Okay, since I have everything. Okay, I have to do the jump. Like, literally. The wrong button. Okay, cool. But it's like, it kind of bothers me the fact that, for example, like, I have to equip a power every time. Big head's power. Okay, sure. Okay. Okay, it's 3. What is it? 9, 1, 0, 1. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, cool. Okay, okay, I already have it. Cool. Okay, Gates of Tiat. Cool. Okay, what do we got? Okay, cool. Let's try. Okay, cool. Finish the game in under 10 hours. The great Lord Teod has fallen. Defeated after a battle will mark the end of this era. Okay, cool. Ah. The stone seemed to be vibrating with sand emanating an ancient energy. With a mix of determination and fear, Panic lifted it and the blinding flash burst into the air. There's like, it bothers me that it's like so inconsistent. Like it feels like somebody made it, and it's like someone along the way went like, yeah, it's like the art is so inconsistent. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like I feel like this like one guy might have just made everything, and it was just like, oh dude, like I might as well just do it. Yeah, like why not? Dude, what the fuck is this story? Dude, it's like so inconsistent. It bothers me so much. Oh. Dude, it's like you can tell that we've made this game. You can tell that. You can tell. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm a weeb, but I'm gonna draw something so it doesn't look like it's weeb. And present to other people to say that yo, I made some original content. Oh my god. Oh my god, this game.
Okay, cool. The end. Great. Okay, cool. Now what? Do we get some credits? Or do we get a blank screen, actually? What do we get? Oh. We don't even get credits. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, whatever. So yeah. I guess that was Bleeding Deities. Great. I don't know. So, okay, the game. The game was kind of all over the place, actually. Like, honestly, like, I was a little bit surprised by the mechanics a little bit. The game feels good to play, but it's just like the design is all over the place. It's like, graphically, it kind of tries to cater to like a specific kind of like mood, but like it's consistent. But the actual drawing style, it feels like a weeb drew it, and he was like, dude, I don't want to draw everything. Like, dude, yeah, I'm gonna draw a dude, I'm gonna do it, and then halfway I'm just gonna get tired and I'm just gonna be like, okay, yeah, I need an opening scene. But what do? Like, I finished the dude, like, I finished the game mechanics, and then I kind of decided that it's like, okay, I'm gonna hand draw everything else. It's just like, yeah, I hand drew the main character. I was like, okay, anything that kind of looks like a little bit too uncanny, okay, just add AI. And maybe it will work. But it's like, yeah, the slides, dude, that was so awkward. The motherfucking gaming slides were so awkward. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, like, that is the thing when it comes to like, I don't want to compare cultures because every single culture is different, but it's like, in the human level, there's always going to be some kind of level where you will actually disagree with, no matter what. And when it comes to race, it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if, like, just because your father decided to fuck a pretty lady doesn't really mean that your next generation is fucked for life. Like, I don't think that should be, like, encouraged at all, like, no matter what. Like, just because yeah, it's from another race, just suddenly everything is bad. And it's like, yeah, it's like, when it comes to culture, it's like, like, it's attached. Like, racial background and culture is always attached. It goes hand in hand, but not necessarily, because it's like, a lot of people, like, can want and wish to adapt to another culture if they find it enticing, if they find it appealing to begin with. It's like, suddenly I see another culture that is kind of like, looks kind of interesting, and it's like, suddenly, like, I get into it and I see, like, a lot of guys complaining about how pure their blood is, and it's like, okay, here we go again, the same problem every single time. It's always like that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, everything that they say is logical, everything makes sense, and it's just that one bit where I'm like, oh no, here we go again. Here we go again. So yeah, it's exactly that, like, basically. And yeah, that's the biggest problem, really. Like, culture does not equal race does not, and just because a culture is different doesn't mean that it's wrong. Just because it's different doesn't mean that it's right either. Like, when it comes to
compatibility. It's always like trying to understand the culture that you're sitting in from the mass population, so you actually have common ground for you to discuss things that you're interested in. It's like, yeah, it's like one thing is to accept everything, and one thing is having people actually trying to argue and trying to have a peaceful life with one another, because you're kind of on the same page on trying to have the best life experience within your own land. And it's like, yeah, I mean, my own land, right? And it's like, I mean, the individual's land, the people that were individuals are sitting in, yeah. So yeah, it's like this kind of, it sounds confusing, but it's like a lot of talking points is always like about, like, they always, every single debate, every single point of discussion, I always get this, like, okay, everything you say is logical, everything you say is logical. Pasta system, oh god, not again, not again, what? Not a fucking gun. So yeah, it's like, it's exactly that. It's just, there's always going to be cultural development. We've decided to make a game that has its own culture inside of it. That's one small grind towards cultural evolution, where we kind of shift from this traditionalist standpoint. We take it a step further into pop culture, and we're like, oh, actually, this was kind of enjoyable, or this sucked. And it's like, but was it a step forward towards evolution? Sure, why not? It is a step forward towards evolution. And it's like, yeah, I mean, and it's like, not every single step forward is going to lead you into the correct path. Because it's like, whenever you date someone, do you always find the correct person to date? Do you have the perfect, whenever you first meet someone and you say that she or he is the perfect person for you, it's like, most of the time it's idealization, and most of the time it's just like, okay, you have something in common, that's why you're dating them. Okay, sure, that's something in common, not necessarily exactly the same, but you have something in common. I was like, yeah, sure, makes sense. Makes absolute sense. Totally. So yeah, suddenly I'm like every single time that I seen like new arguments, it always comes up. It always comes up. I've been on the internet for so long, never discussed about it, but I've always watched it from the shadows, and it's always that 10% that comes around. It's like, I feel like people's insecurity because they want to belong to a particular community, like suddenly a lot of those things get shut down because they get seen as like intrusive or like destructive of the community. And it's like, not necessarily, it's just like, the fact is that you're trying to build a community out of like a particular taste that you have is the right direction, rather than actually shoving an entire thing of your own culture into another culture and saying, you need to obey everything that my culture is saying because I'm new. And because I'm new, I deserve everything. It's like, no, actually, no. Not really, no. I'm a specific group. I deserve everything because I'm different. No. I deserve everything because I've adhered to every single specific part of my culture, and I've decided that it must remain the most pure part of the culture. You can defend it, sure. But it's like, whenever there's new individuals that actually genuinely want to be part of the culture, it's like, you're not evolving. You're not evolving. Suddenly you become the French royalty. Suddenly you become like incestuous, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck my sister. And it's like, yeah, that happens. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, it's always great when you try to preserve another culture. It's like, for me, it's like, dude, I want to preserve the anime cult, like any kind of weeb aspect of the weeb culture, because, or like otaku culture, because it's awesome and I like it. I grew inside of it. I grew inside of it. I was like, does it adhere to every single value of my culture? No, not really. Like, I just have like a fragment of me is part of the regional culture that I'm part of. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I kind of grew up with like all these kind of ideas that came before it, that is kind of like, okay, art, design, everything, philosophy. It's like, even within the other culture, I kind of look at it and it's like, yeah, there's some things that are absolutely wrong in the other culture that keeps exploiting the people that actually take a lot of effort into making all these things. And it's like, within my understanding, I'm like, yeah, not everything has to be preserved. Not everything. So yeah, it's like, it's kind of like that. It's like, when it comes to preserving culture, it's always best to be a little bit selective of the things that you actually enjoy and that were the most impactful out of your culture. So you actually say, okay, yeah, this is a relic of our culture, and kind of marked a lot of the progress that got us into this place in particular. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to preserve that because of it. I was like, yeah, that's absolutely correct. That's great. But it doesn't mean, okay, there's suddenly another culture, I'm gonna like become a doormat and you can do everything you want to me. It's like, no. It doesn't mean that. Neither, okay, I need the most purity out of the culture because this is the most idealized life that I've ever lived. I was like, not necessarily. It's like, it's always comparison, basically, over the most ideal place in which you had your life. And most of the time, the most ideal place where the human mind goes is youth. Like being a teenager, being like 20s, being in your 20s, being on your 30s. Like on that kind of like age range point, it becomes the most memorable because that's where most things were free. And that's where, I mean, in some aspects, I would say that the internet was part of it. Like, definitely. I feel like the fact that the internet was just getting started and communications were just getting started were like kind of like a new kind of awesome thing, and made like technology and media and everything spread around in just an awesome way, really. But it's a period that has already passed, and even although that we want to go back to it, dude, I want to go back to the 2010s, like legitimately. It was an awesome time. It was an awesome time. Like, no matter what, it was an awesome time for technology and innovation. And it was like when everything was just getting started and everyone was getting like a smartphone and everyone was getting a computer, everyone was getting everything. But it's like, in some ways, I believe that the dopamine that the brain has developed, that kind of grew with it, makes you psychologically want to adapt to that, because that is the safest place in which you ever felt. It's a defense mechanism. It is literally a defense mechanism. So it doesn't mean that you actually have to like defend your culture. Absolutely. But can you keep it pure? I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible, because you're living in it. Millions of people are living in your region. No matter what, it's not going to be entirely pure by the fact that there are individuals who want to smash the curry lady. There are individuals who want to smash that. I was like, yeah, no, it's like, just by default, by the fact that the internet existed, by the fact that media existed, by the fact that people were more open to other people, you cannot go back to that sense of purity because it has already evolved. Everyone, and it's like, yeah, I mean, suddenly we really like the rice fields, and it's like, yeah, some Japanese women are like really attractive, right? I was like, yeah, totally. I was like, well, suddenly you're no longer pure. You've been contaminated out of your purity. So like, what is going to be the objective from moving from that, essentially? Reject every bit of your body so you actually say, oh, I actually want to keep things as pure as possible, because it aids me to defend against things that actually seem very, very harmful. I was like, yeah, that's something that you should do. But just keep in mind that purity in its own way, in its own form, is harmful. Not only is it harmful to yourself, it's harmful to everyone. Just by the fact that the internet has existed and that we're sitting in this place. Just by that fact, purity no longer exists. It just keeps evolving. And the more that someone is involved in a community, the more it wants to defend itself from other agents who go against the core values of a community. So that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people on the internet. It becomes impossible to have a sense of purity. It becomes literally impossible. We're passed through that point. So now the only thing that you are left to do is defend the cultures of culture that you're part on, so things remain out of it. It continues evolving throughout the decades to come. So yeah, it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that things are set in stone and you're supposed to like give yourself a lie in the ground and accept every single bullshit that another person is saying. No, that's not it. But it also doesn't mean you must eradicate everything that is different. Just for the sake of it being different. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It sounds simple to me, but I know for a fact that there are going to be people who actually disagree with it because they think, oh, well, you don't understand how good things were. But it's like, that's how good things were. You're in the present. You're in the era of the most free internet that it could have ever been. You're living in that particular era. You're not living in the 2010s anymore. I'm not living in the 2010s anymore. And I'm trying to defend things that the 2010s did really bring into the table, that actually defended a lot of like subcultures that were important to that generation. And it's like, are we going to agree with everything 100%? No. Just by nature of how we explore the internet, by the nature of how we live, by the nature of the games we played, the books we've read, by the nature of everything, you're just going to fall, everyone is going to fall into this broad umbrella and having that 10, 20, 30, 40% of disagreement. And it's like the closest thing that we have is what we go with. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes it's important for more voices to step forward, so you actually got more people that actually agree with you, or like have a higher percentage of agreeability, so we can actually, so people can maybe form projects out of that, so they can maybe contribute into society and actually contribute into the community that has been part of it. So is it complicated? Yes. Are individuals harmful? Sometimes. But every single individual of every culture has been harmful in one way or the other, because you've had a bad experience. Like, I've had bad experiences with people of my own culture. And just because I've done that, I'm not gonna go around and say, oh, this sucks, oh, this is awful, oh, this is not great. Dude, I'm gonna say that, sure. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I think that everyone is a scum of the earth and everyone deserves like to be taken aback. I was like, dude, I know this because as an otaku, as a weeb, or whatever you want to call me, we've seen that. We've seen gatekeeping. Now I'm the one that is kind of doing gatekeeping. Now I'm kind of the guy that is doing gatekeeping myself as well. Because I want to defend part of the culture that was great. Like, that is the defense, basically. It's evolution, like, going through our eyes. It is literally evolution going through our eyes. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, tomorrow I don't know if I'm gonna stream. I don't know. I may have to work. Today I was supposed to work, but like I was not confirmed by other people if I had to work or not. But if I don't stream tomorrow, you know why. Wednesdays is always the day where I have to work most of the time. But yeah. If not, I'll try to like make an hour stream of me talking and just being like, oh yeah, weeb shit. But I feel like this is important because I feel like we're going through a lot of turning points. Like, a lot of people feel like we're going through important turning points because there's like a lot of social unrest and people defending types of cultures. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I feel like as long as we kind of have this kind of framework where we kind of understand that not everything, like, yeah, sure, it's important that you defend your culture, but just by the sole fact that you're existing, is adrift from purity, no matter what. By the sheer nature of the internet, purity is no longer ensured. Because now you've kind of understood different talking points from other regions. You've already understood that. You've socialized with people from other regions. Therefore, purity can no longer be ensured. And even if you did, you would be lonely inside of an island. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Tomorrow, 4:30 CST. Around that time, most likely, I will do something. I'm not entirely sure what it will be. But I'll see what I do. Maybe I talk for like 1 hour, maybe I don't, maybe I rest. Nothing confirmed tomorrow. But yeah, nothing entirely confirmed tomorrow. But on Thursday, yeah, most likely. Same day, I'll do something. Same hour, I'll do something. Okay, so until then, I'll see you later. Have a good one. Goodbye.